The first Pokemon games came out in 1996 in North America, so that means I was 6 years old when my dad told me I was in a codependent relationship with my Game Boy. It wasn't until recently I found out what that meant. Dr. Oz told me because he visits the break room where I work every weekday at noon. Via television. He also told me how to bake these vegan veggie love muffins. So if I ever decide to permanently ignore the meat section at No Frills, my transition is going to be a little bit easier and tastier. So when I was a kid, I may as well just have lived in the world of Pokemon because everywhere I went, I was just giving myself my own self-guided tours of the Kanto region and Pokemon Blue. See, I know where everything is in the Kanto region and the Johto region, I might add. Now, do I know any real geography? Kind of. Pokemon Go is helping me with that. That is totally the real reason why Pokemon Go came out. The makers of Pokemon felt bad for the kids in the 90s because they grew up with like not knowing as much about the real world because they were so obsessed with the Pokemon world. Like, what's the capital of Finland? Me personally, I don't know. Lavender Town! So now in Pokemon Go, they're making it so it's teaching us things we should have learned when we were younger, like geography. And they put region-specific Pokemon in the game too. So you'll go everywhere to catch them and subliminally know where every place is on Earth. Now when the batteries in my Game Boy died and my parents didn't feel like being enablers, I was left with one question. If I couldn't be in the world of Pokemon, how could I bring the Pokemon into my world? The answer was simple. Force feed my parents into the maw of capitalism until I got each and every Pokemon in real world form.
90s Pokemon battle figures!
These figures that Hasbro released were one of the main ways to collect Pokemon beyond the video games. Wait, that's Goku's a Pokemon? Normally, you could buy them in either a 2-figure or 3-figure set, but some sets came with a Pokemon and a trainer figure. The 2-figure sets came with one of several types of Pokeballs you could carry your Pokemon around in. My set came with the Master Ball. Or you could have used the Pokeball for what it was really intended for. A Pokemon Battle Disc competition. For that, players would put those discs each set of figures came with into the Pokeball, then shake it, then slam it down, and then place their discs in a straight line in the order that they came out in. You'd also put your figures next to their corresponding discs. Then, in order, each player would flip the disc like a coin, and whoever's disc had the highest amount of stars showing would win and eliminate their opponent's disc. This was done until the player with any remaining discs left won. I'm saying disc, right? Disc. The 3-figure sets came with these Pokeball blasters. You could load the ball tethered to it into the front and press the button on top to fire it and stuff, and the bottom half was used to store the battle discs each set of figures came with. The main purpose of the blaster was to use it in a Pokemon competition. These were the rules. Win the Pokemon you knocked down with the blaster. Well then, if you played that game, you probably lost your friends as you lost your figures, but not I. Me and my friends still remember how big the Pokemon craze was when we were living on the same street.
My dad bought me Pokemon Red, my brother Pokemon Blue, classic fat Game Boy. I had a Sega Game Gear because Sega does what Nintendo don't. Sega! I collected every single Pokemon in the original game. Gold and Silver was so much better. You got Totodile, which is the best starter they've ever had. My favorite one had to be my Gengar though. I loved Gengar, still love him to this day. You got the day and night cycle, which blew everybody's mind if they never played Dragon Warrior 4. Pokemon the movie, that was one of the most fondest memories. I went with Roger's birthday party. We all went as a group of friends. I was at a friend's house after he stood me up on my birthday party. Thanks, Brett. He has Pokemon, so when he's upstairs in the bathroom, right before I'm heading home, I just discreetly pocket it. Late 90s, going to 7-Eleven, spending all my hard-earned money just to collect these mother hoping that I get some decent shinies. Usually you just get a Pikachu or something, or a Rattata. I had one of these Rattatas. I love these. Feeling a lot of nostalgia here.
I'm feeling a lot of nostalgia too. Or that could just be the vegan veggie love muffins. Yep, my stomach feels like it's perform a self-destruct. Nope. No, it performed a heal. I may not be a Pokemon master, but I am a master of my own body.
Body break.